How about that story
Oops,
for your beautiful jewelry?
Yes.
Well, that's just a little peek we're giving everybody, but that's one of my favorites. I love her corno or her cornucopia.
La cornucopia
of abundance.
Yes.
That's coming up, and that's carved on the sardonyx as well. That's why you see the relief in that beautiful ethereal white. That's what it is. It's the sardonyx shell with the white. Looks like marble on those. Now, perfect set of earrings. So this is a double drop earring. Essentially, you're getting 4 Italian hand-carved cameos for this price that is incredibly reasonable when you think of all of the time that goes in here.
So beautiful.
And you get the left-facing and the right-facing cameo. 4 flecks of $44.90 bring these home. But Amadeo, let's talk about the journey of the cameo and the shell, because to get to this point, lots of time and attention.
I like that you call the journey.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's a long journey. You have to realize that cameos are made in Torre del Greco and will always be made in Torre del Greco. But the traditional cameos in the cornelian shell, as you know it, this beautiful peachy, orangey color. It's a conch that comes from far away from Italy. Actually comes from Africa, from Kenya, Mozambique, and Madagascar. And it's always been coming from Africa, even, you know, my grandfather, great-grandfather times. Now you will ask why the shells were coming from Africa in Italy, even in the 19th century. Well, the answer is very simple. The Italians are incredibly famous sailors, right? I mean, Christopher Colombo arrived up to the United States.
Of course.
America. And so even the people of Torre del Greco were incredible sailors, and they were traveling all over the world, sailing around. So, but they were also carvers, and they discovered these shells in Africa in the beginning of the 19th century, in the 1800s, and they realized in the long journey back home from Africa to Torre del Greco that they could carve their wives' portraits, or their loved ones' portraits, on this beautiful shell, because the shell having these layers that could, you know, could give the color, the dimension that they needed to create the beautiful portraits. So more and more they started to bring back these shells during these long trips and using as another mean of carving with the lava and the coral and the hard stones that have been carved until they're long. In the carvings on seashells, on conch shells, became so beautiful and so popular because they became the symbol of the grand tour in the 1800s that completely surpassed the more ancient carvings on hard stones and coral and lava, because on the shells with the multiple layers would give these dimensions and the color contrast, which would make it even more beautiful. So then in the 1800s, it's when they discovered the beautiful ruins in Rome, in Pompeii, and in Herculaneum. So all the aristocracy from the northern Europe would come to Torre del Greco and to actually Italy to do the grand tour. They would send the children actually to learn about the history of art and the archaeology that just became to be like so popular thanks to the excavations in Rome and in Herculaneum and Pompeii. So when they would come for the grand tour and learn and make even more of their culture, they would bring back a cameo. The cameos became, with their how should I say, classical reinventions.
Oh, I see.
They became a memento of this grand tour of Italy, of the beauties they've seen in the Roman excavations, in the Domus Aurea. Exactly. It became the first souvenir as we know it. And so in the, all these families, of course they were the wealthy that could travel at the time, would get these incredible cameos. Oh, wow. So now you see why the obsession for cameos, why cameos have been in our families for all these generations and generations.
It's true. I've had people write to me on Facebook and tell me I couldn't even get a cameo at these prices in Italy.
Absolutely.
So, when you think about it, that we're offering these amazing works of art, all hand-carved, done in the same way they've been done, generation to generation, ancestor to ancestor, and then that we're offering everything in these 2 hours on 4 flexible payments, it really makes you be able to bring it home. A lot of times you can't afford something and it's not on the budget, but with the 4 Flex, we can make it happen. You can bring these works of art home. In fact, I have the girls in our chat room. I have Rock Chick, Muka, Creative Corn Puff. I've got Southern Belle. They're all in pain. They're like, oh my goodness, this is so gorgeous. Everybody gets it, Amadeo. These are treasures.
And
there's a reason they've been adored for hundreds of years.
And Leslie, nothing makes me more proud than being on HSN and hearing this testimonial saying, I could never afford one if it wasn't for HSN. Because obviously, buying it for a quarter of the price, by splitting the price in 4 over 4 months, is such an incredible opportunity to afford something you would never buy.
I love these.
And that's the most important thing, because this way, with this flexibility, flex space, you can afford things that you probably would have never bought.
And they're interest-free, and it's on any of the major credit cards, even the debit cards. So you don't have to have an HSN card, although an HSN card is the ideal way to become part of our family. But you don't have to have an HSN card to get and take advantage of those flex pay. Think about this. You're getting 4 hand-carved cameos,
and so
all done
feminine.
in sterling silver.
So feminine.
Absolutely gorgeous. Amadeo's keeping his family's legacy alive. He really is bringing that charm, the old world, beautiful art of cameos, and making it relevant.